So you guys been wanting me to change the theme song sound quality, but I'm gonna keep the same song. So here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Just how she plays them, and she does that. She does it with the cat. Does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. Hopefully that fixed the audio. Crazy Cat does not own any of these pictures or books or pictures. I use them under fair use for educational purposes, so the people who watch them learn a little bit something when they do it. Hopefully that fixed the audio. I only did all those years ago. No, I don't want to do this. I'm scared of this thing. Alright guys, so, I don't know, I found this one kind of like the least scary, but they kind of did a reference one of, things from the book, I guess, in the last episode of a massacre that happens during the 30s. The car they find at the very end, one of the cars, during a massacre during a game. Looks like the theme, I do like the fact that the theme song does have, for every single scene you see it messing with a kid and like erasing one of the frames, so it's like showing that this show is definitely not a friendly one. But also we have another one that has to do with 1908. Like the bunny one, I guess that one has to do like an Easter explosion. And this episode does actually start off in 1908, where a little boy who turns out to be the sergeant that we keep on seeing, Francis, who is the general, not the sergeant, that we keep on seeing. I guess he was in Derry when he was little, and he ends up leaving for a little bit of it to go with his dad. And just like in this movie, it makes you slowly forget longer you stay away from it. But it comes right back once he comes to town. But he doesn't remember Rose, the girl that he played with when he was little, chased him when he looked like a skeleton man. He's in the I guess he wouldn't leave the forest that they went into, and it chased them in there. But he first meets them in a freak show or a circus place. When you go and see people look, two twins meant to be together, stuff like that. He went for a tunnel with a bunch of mirrors, and he meets the guy that looks like a skeleton man, but the missing eye. It scares him. He runs out. And he runs to his dad. His dad gives him a slingshot, and the car breaks down. And when they're going home, he gives him some chance to go and get some water while he fixes it. But he doesn't have enough, so he ends up getting the slingshot to Rose. While they're playing, she tells him not to go in the forest. He does anyway, and it almost gets both of them. He's trying to save them, when she's saving him. He tells him not to go back in the forest. And so they asked Dick Halloran, when we get back to the kind of president in the show, to go up in the air and float over that forest, I guess. Driving the plane leads him over it. No, Leroy drives over it, and he ends up holding the same slingshot that Francis had, and he ends up seeing Pennywise's colorful thing. We end up seeing those eyes, and he sees a bunch of floating kids, but one ends being his grandma. and helps him get out of there before it gets him. But he ends up screwing the airplane opening, and Leroy has to go and help him get out. Therefore, he walks literally right off the plane, and he ends up getting a better tent for them to hang out with, his friends, because so he doesn't get rained on. But he kind of warns Francis that we should not be messing with this thing. But I don't think Francis is gonna listen. So Rose and the other Native Americans are trying to make them stop messing with their land by trying to get a court order, because they're doing right over a burial ground, which is, if you know, you should not mess with any type of burial ground. It doesn't matter if they're Native American ones or if they're Irish. Just don't mess with them. That's what I say. And you definitely don't do like a little seance thing in one and expect not to see anything. Simba, you becoming quiet? Anyway, so Rodney and Lonnie are trying to find a fun way to take a picture of him, of the monster, but they don't know how to develop film. So they ask Will for help, but Rich messes with them and says that he knows like a seance thing that he learned from his cousin, his uncle, when he's in Cuba. But they like put candles around it and they'll lower it to them, but they're supposed to not leave the circle. He goes to the bathroom. And then that's when he says cousin, and that's when Ronnie figures out that they are not believing in him. Okay, Lonnie and Lily sound similar. Sorry. They all leave inside to go home on their bikes, because since their permit's lied to, but you do not play in the cemetery at night and not expect to have something bad happen. And something does bad happen. They think they're getting to the gate, but they're not. And a bunch of ghost kids and some adults come after them. They're definitely, and they start taking pictures of every single one of the, at least 3 pictures. But they keep on losing it, and each kid has to capture them. Will goes into a crypt and almost might think that he gets captured, gets killed, but nope. The other kids go back for him and save him. And on the way home, they get into the school, develop the pictures, and the last picture they develop is a clown. So this episode kind of does have plenty of wise in it. He has like one line. He says, "Who are you?" I can't do the voice, but he basically says, "Who are you?" to Dick, but we really don't get to have a good reaction to it. So I don't really find this one. I found this one like the least scary of all the episodes so far. So, because I was not scared at all during this episode. So I'm probably that's probably gonna dock it down a little bit. And I thought Lily was gonna stay at this crazy place for a while, but apparently not. At the Juniper Hill, because it's supposed to be like a sane asylum. She would think she stayed there for a while, but she didn't. We didn't get to see anything happen to her that was bad. She just went in there, left the next day. So that's what it feels like. So, and looks like we're gonna have Hank's gonna go to Shawshank soon, which is not gonna be good. So we're gonna have a Shawshank episode. I'm gonna give this one like a I'll do a 6.5. So we got Clint Bowers, who is Henry Bowers, this grandpa, the one who teases the losers game in the movies. Who's being the chief, and one has to send The guy who owns the theater to Shawshank and doesn't believe him because he says that's how an eyewitness kinda, since he tricked Lily to think that Lily to earlier said that she's not sure if he was there or not. And he tries to be friendly with him by handing out Palm non-filtered cigarettes. And ask him are you lying? And don't say that you're at home. He knows he can smell a liar, but we all know that the dad did not kill the kids. It did. I just want to add that because I didn't mention that earlier. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Like, thanks you guys for not subscribed to me. It doesn't cost you anything. But I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. And remember, y'all float down here. Bye-bye.